We're going to look at the cryptocurrency Polkadot, symbol DOT. And we're going to start by looking at the weekly chart. I always like to look at the longer time frames just to get an idea of what the price structure is like and the obstacles that the cryptocurrency is going to face. Usually they're very clear, very obvious on a weekly chart. You don't get caught up in the minor fluctuations that are contained in intraday moves on a daily chart. One of the first things that stands out, and it's not unique to DOT, is the importance of the 78.6% Fibonacci retracement of this advance. You'll note if you take a look at other cryptocurrencies, you'll see that Fibonacci retracement level, maybe starting back at the March low of 2020, has played a critical role. We can see it here. We had two weeks. The previous 2 weeks we had tests, but closes above the Fibonacci level. However, one of the negatives that stands out on the weekly chart is that we are trading below the 50-week simple moving average. In an ideal situation, you want the cryptocurrency to be trading above the 50-week simple moving average. It provides a firm base. It also is a sign of whether there's institutional support. There isn't institutional support or prominent investor support. They usually target those type of levels for adding to positions or initiating positions. So you're going to see this take a little bit of work moving forward to get above the 50-week simple moving average, which comes in right now at 17.73. We'll zoom in now on the daily chart. Things are becoming a little clearer now. You can see, first of all, we have the May descending trend line, the role that it played in the early part of July here, resisting all these attempts to break out before we finally collapse down into the July 20th low. In the first 4 days of the move off the July 20th low, Polkadot achieved a gain of about 37.45%, which doesn't put it up at the highest levels or near the highest levels for 4-day gains. And it's more, but it does beat some of the bounces that we saw during the corrective process. So it could signal a change in price personality for Polkadot, but it's not 100%. One of the troubling things is that the momentum has stalled exactly at this price congestion that goes back into these lows of early July. We've had 4 attempts to break through and we failed. We've also have a doji here, another doji there, which shows indecision, uncertainty within DOT investors. So the potential for a corrective process to begin is actually relatively high at this point, and then I would argue probably the easy money was made into the July 26th spike higher before it reversed. That was your easy money move right there, those 6 days. Now you're looking at a challenge. Probably moving forward, you're going to see a corrective process that comes in here, gets rid of the price compression associated with this rally, which always, takes place. There's always a release of the price compression. It's no surprise there. You definitely don't want to see this corrective process go down all the way to the 78.6 Fibonacci retracement level. You'd like it to be somewhere in between and then break out above this congestion. You could use this high if you wanted as the trigger price on a daily close, or you could be more conservative and look at this high, which comes in at 15.96 on a daily close as your trigger price. That would definitely get you above the 50-day simple moving average by that point, and the resistance that is inherent with that moving average. Then the next target really would be this price congestion here that goes back into June. That will be a stumbling block for Polkadot. I don't suspect that it's going to be overwhelming, but one of the things that's going to have an impact on the trajectory, upward trajectory of DOT is going to be the simple fact that we have a rapidly descending 50-day simple moving average. So that is going to offer a magnet effect to Polkadot. It's going to pull down on price and not enable Polkadot probably to realize the full potential of this breakout from here. But if we do get above there and there's a collective buying spurt within the cryptocurrency complex, particularly in altcoins, because we've seen altcoins with a negative deviation for Bitcoin over the last few days. If we do get a renewed collective buying surge within altcoins, we could entertain these levels up here, which would lead to about a 60% advance from a breakout above this high on July 26th, which is a respectable return. It's not portfolio changing, but it definitely is a decent opportunity. There you're going to find firm resistance where you have the convergence of the 200-day simple moving average at 26.93 with the apex of this particular symmetrical triangle that we broke down on July 19th. That would be the maximum possible price target. And I think that that's going to take time to achieve. It's not going to be a rapid event. By no means. I think this corrective process would take time. I think the 50-day pulling on Polkadot will keep us from achieving an impulsive move to this price target. On the downside, I really would use the midway point between this congestion and the 78.6% retracement as your stop. I wouldn't wait for it to come down here. Obviously, if you get a daily close below the retracement level, traders, if you're shorting, you can entertain much deeper correction. I think you'll take out the July 20th low and look at coming down and testing May's descending trend line, which comes in, give or take, at 9.07 at this point here. Currently, it sits at 10.73 if there was to be a rapid drop from now. So overall, I think the easy money has been made in DOT. I think the potential for a corrective process is high. I think that the prospect of an impulsive move of 60% up to the apex of the symmetrical triangle and the 200-day simple moving average is not feasible at this point, simply because the 50-day simple moving average is going to be pulling on price and containing it. I think on the downside, if the corrective process gets to be below the midpoint of the distance here, I'd be looking to close the position and actually look for better opportunities. Once there are cryptocurrencies out there that are in a much better position within the price structure. They're above the 50-week simple moving average, they're above the 50-day moving average, and they're above the 200-day moving average. And in some cases, they are going to avoid the bearish death cross pattern. So that won't be a pull on price either. So I view Polkadot as a secondary opportunity at this point. It's not a primary opportunity. Of course, there are Polkadot enthusiasts that do want to trade this, so I do want to cover it for them. But it's definitely not a primary target for me in terms of our coverage.